scammed. You know the premise of this podcast, truth, and that means even my truth. So even in this spring break, first let's honor the Father, because there's nothing that we are going through that will stop this praise. But still, you know the deal, you know the drill. These are the services. This is the website you can go to get to it. And let's get into the lesson that came out of me getting scammed. Can't believe it. Can't. Let's just head on over. Head over. Probably looking at me like, Monica, why your hair so greasy? Why it's all over the place? Why is it half braided on this side and a mess and the other side relatively still looks so pressed? And I got scammed. It'll all make sense in a second. Okay, so long story long, I was supposed to get my hair done on Wednesday, right? No, Thursday. So I'm excited. I'm ready to, get it done. I'm just entering my spring break. I'm getting my things in line or whatever. So I hit up the first person I'm supposed to have do my hair. And I'm like, hey, let me know how much it's going to be so I can be ready to go, blah, blah, blah. They had a family emergency, a legit one. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay. So what do? Because if you are like me and you live in a smaller city, over time, you get tired of going to larger cities to get your hair done. Side note, you might as well just stick with your large city and stick with what you know, because you might end up getting scammed. But nevertheless, I shoot a Facebook message and I say, hey, recommendations for lash techs and for a braider, because I want to get some braids. So I get these comments and these referrals, and then other people, I guess, see that alert on Facebook and they comment their availability. I'm like, all right, bet, cool. So I'm able to find a person. The Facebook looks legit. I inbox them because that's their way. And a lot of people use DM methods to get in contact with them, to direct them to their style sheet and things of that nature. And so I message this person. I look at their page. I look at the work. It looks organized. They give me the address. I pay my deposit, which is normal. They give me the address, which is a legit shop with a legit name and a legit address with actual people working there. So I'm like, psh, I'm ready to go. Y'all, I'm so ready. I prepared my transition video for IG. So when this transition video come out later on Friday, maybe Saturday, because I might be too tired, y'all better run up the likes, run up the views. You know the backstory, because it took a lot to get here. Okay. So I pay my deposit. Everything's all good. I set my time. I wake up. I head over to the salon. I got my hair, all that stuff. I walk in. I see other stylists are in the booth. I'm like, okay, no problem. Nobody's greeted me. It's a little awkward. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I just look at my message and I'm like, maybe I should ask for this stylist whom I've Cash Apped. Red flag number one, I probably shouldn't have Cash Apped, but I've done that before for my lash techs and things like that. Like, they don't be having these style sheets. I've done it through IG, so this isn't unfamiliar to me. You know what I'm saying? You're probably thinking like, why didn't you use the style sheet? Because I've done other lash techs specifically. I'll get to that story another day. Who I've booked specifically through the social media site with them, and they had like their little page or whatever, and then I would just Cash App them my deposit to secure it. This new person, I did the same thing, so it was all good, regular routine. So I asked, I'm like, hey, does so-and-so work here? They're like, how did you contact them? And I told them. They're like, you've probably been scammed. You're like the 5th person this week that this has happened to. Okay? Como? Whom? What? Why? So here I am. Hair out in a mess, and again, it wasn't even this bad. It was just regular blowout. I'm like, okay, this can't be real, can't be happening. So I messaged the person. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Keep in mind, let me rewind. Before I even asked the people, I messaged the person that I'm here, but in the middle of doing that, I asked about the person, and that's when they informed me that I've been scammed. And quote, they say to me, oh, all right, cool, wait outside until I get there. Cash at me the rest of the money, or I won't be able to unlock the door to let you in. Let me in. Sir, ma'am, whoever you may be, I'm already on the couch watching other people get their hair done. Units installed, and I'm over here looking like, pick me. Newsflash, I'm not getting picked. Why? Because you're not real and you're not here, because I'm being scammed. So after that, honestly, first thought was, I'm scared. Because what if this person is low-key a stalker and outside? So I'm like, all right, let me just block this person, screenshot the page, and make it aware to my Facebook community, because obviously the black hair community out here is legitimately dealing with scammers. And according to the black stylists that were in that salon, they were like, it's been happening a lot. They try to let the clients know, but again, it's just happening because they just keep making fake pages and getting a part of these stylist group chats and getting access to these alerts and recommendations, right? So I leave, I'm frustrated, I decide, you know what, I got this hair, I can do some cornrows. Let me attempt to do it myself, y'all. Because I did not feel like driving all the way out to the neighboring city. And you know what, honestly, I just didn't feel like coming out of pocket the way I wanted to come out of pocket, because I got a lot of things going on, let's be real. And to be completely honest, what intrigued me about this initial stylist was their price point. They were in the price point and range that I wanted. Like, I didn't really feel like sacrificing the additional, there's a word in that, I didn't really feel like sacrificing the additional cost. But so that's why I went with them. That was the intriguing part. It should have been the red flag, which a lot of us do because we be so intrigued with cheap and find out later down the line that it's a scam. Okay, so I try to do it myself. Y'all, look at this. A mess. Now you're probably wondering, Monica, why are you telling us about your hair? Why do we care? Because you should. You should. You should care. Why? Because I care. And we care here on this page. Amen, praise God. That's it. That's the real reason. But number two, there's even a lesson in my distress. Although I lost out on a couple dollars, okay, it wasn't tons, but it was enough for me. I said, Lord, what's the lesson in this? Because I'm woe out, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I have a migraine now as we speak. Like, I literally most of the day ate M&Ms and I drank a vanilla iced coffee. Literally, that was most of my day. No real lunch, like stress, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this head because I got a lot of stuff coming up next week and I just don't have the time, babe. I ain't got the time. And I had found a person who matched my price point, okay? The Lord was really kind of sticking it to me. And there's a lesson in this. Just because it's cheaper don't mean it's the best option. Taking shortcuts ain't always the best route. Going low don't mean you always gonna get high resolve or results. Whichever one of those hits you, pick it. At the end of the day, when you go cheap, you get what you pay for. Okay? And where is that in the Bible? I'm glad you asked. Let's go to Proverbs. Of course it's in Proverbs, because what is it in Proverbs? Proverbs 19:2-26. ERV translations. Do not rush into something or you might do it wrong. Y'all, I was in such a rush to find a person because my initial person had an emergency. I also wanted to match the price person of the initial person because we got a good relationship. Instead of taking the time to do fresh research, to sacrifice what I needed to sacrifice, I tried to be cheap and look at me. Scammed. Here's your lesson. Stop trying to be cheap and sacrifice what you need to sacrifice so you can get the outcome that you desire. Because you know what? That sacrifice might be exceedingly abundantly above. But we over here being cheap. And we missing out on blessings or our hair being done. That is all. Y'all be blessed. Thank you. That's my dog confirming. And good day. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mean Girls 1821 podcast with me, your host, Mo. Tune in each and every Friday for a fresh episode exclusively found on my YouTube channel or using the podcast app. And always remember, words have power. So whenever you speak, mean what you say and say what you mean. Take care.